Hello, welcome to game 3 of my match against JNails. The first player has won both games. So it's their first player, so I'm going to try to steal one here. We've got Hermit, Masquerade, for trashing, Village with Hostelry and King's Court, Draw with Laboratory, kind of Hostelry, kind of Masquerade, definitely King's Court, plus VP with Groundskeeper. We don't have plus buy anywhere. We do have gains with Hermit, so Hermit can gain estates. Hermit can gain estates with Groundskeepers in play and you get a ton of points, but it's hard to gain Groundskeepers. You can only gain one Groundskeeper a turn, right? I believe that's the case. So, you could smuggle them. I'm going to follow suit and just open a Hermit. I'm pretty sure I want to get a Hermit no matter what. And on the Madman turn, you can potentially get your King's Court up and running quickly. Hermit Masquerade's a pretty sad opening. I'm even considering like Hermit Flagbearer on the second player. The idea is that it's somewhat tough for JNails to contest the Flagbearer back, especially if they like draw the Hermit turn 3, which is, decently likely. And it somewhat interferes with their whatever the plan is. If they're going Mask, they went second Hermit. Yeah, JNails beat me pretty badly last season in a Hermit Kingdom with Alt VP. That was in the form of Conquest for silvers. Double Hermit means they're going to spin at Madman very quickly, get some King's Courts, Hostelries going. I'm going to do the thing and get the Flagbearer. And it's just going to be a really long time before they can contest it. And I'll just grab another Hermit on this turn. I think it'll just be Hermit, trash, gain Hermit, and Hermit, trash, gain Hermit, and gain Madman. Okay, they took a Mask, which makes sense. So I can take a Hermit. Yeah, I think I'll take a Hermit now. A second Hermit, and then I can Hermit, gain Masquerade, and Madman this turn. The Hermit below the line ability works even if, what am I saying? The Hermit below the line ability works even if you play it as Way of the Owl, which is quite interesting. I think a Masquerade to draw and trash copper seems good. So now I have this question. I have a lot of money. And I'm going to play my Madman, play a Hermit, play a Masquerade. That's somewhat unlucky that they're only hitting 3 here. They must have 2 estates in hand. They took a Smugglers. All right, we'll pass a copper. So they should have a Madman in hand now. They should have 2 Madmen in hand. That's quite interesting. So I can play Hermit, gain Hermit, trash estate, and get like a Hostelry and 2 horses. That does open up for them the Hostelry pile, which I don't really want to do. I just play the Flagbearer and buy King's Court. Somewhat sadly, and knowing that they can't smuggle King's Court because it costs too much, and leave them a decision to make. I don't know. I assume Spec Chat is going to see that play and just be befuddled by it, but we'll see. Probably I will buy another Hermit this turn. I think I'll play the Masquerade to crash one. If I draw the King's Court or the Hermit, I'm slightly sad. It's like my next 6 cards are Estate, 3 coppers, King's Court, Hermit. So I can play King's Court, Hermit, and gain. King's Court Hermit and gain a couple of Hermits, and then play the second, and then gain 3 Hermits, and then take a Madman into the shuffle. I don't really see a better. I can play the Masquerade, pass an estate. If I hit another copper, buy a Hostelry. They're less likely to have. They're less likely to have Smugglers in hand next turn. I was right about this Flag Bearer. I am able to hold it for a very long time. Normally, Flag Bearer is pretty bad in the open. Okay, I think I will do this. As sad as that is, and buy my own Hostelry. So my next hand, I have the Mask, I have the Hostelry, so I'm triggering a shuffle with this Madman in it. I can gain maybe 2 Hermits and a Smugglers. Seems like a decent set of gains. Yeah, drawing my King's Court dead last turn, but then I find it again immediately, so a little bit lucky. In my case. And they don't even need to spend a Madman. We're at this weird point of the game where gaining Madman is somewhat annoying because you have to give up your buy, and it's fairly easy to find buys at this part of the game. So 2 Hermits and a Smuggler. It's a lot of terminals, but I'm not really that concerned about it. They can smuggle a Hostelry here, which is very nice, and then they can smuggle a Hostelry, gain all the horses. So yeah, that's a nice thing to do with their turn. So my next turn, are they going to take the flag back? Wow. I don't. Okay. And it's somewhat unlucky that I don't have this, but we're going to gain 1 of you. We can play this as Owl now, but 1 of you. I can take the flag back fairly quickly myself. So I have a Madman now, which is good. They're going to have a big turn here and probably be able to buy a King's Court, I would imagine. Although they've trashed more coppers than me. I wonder if they need, if they're actually going to need to gain silvers or something in order to afford, able to afford a King's Court. My sincere hope is that I play this Masquerade and draw the Madman. And probably I'm going to be trashing the Flag Bearer unless I draw the Hermit, and then I'll Hermit trash the Flag Bearer. Take some more Madmen. I don't think I'm ever going to gain Groundskeepers when they have Smugglers in their deck. But I might do something where I like King's Court Hermit, gaining a state, trashing a state for profit, I guess. I don't think I'm going to trash all the Hermits. That's kind of a key detail here. You want to make sure you keep 1 Hermit in the deck for King's Court stuff. So they've trashed. They gain a silver. So they have a silver. Last turn they had a silver and 2 coppers. So if they have a silver and if they've trashed 3 coppers, then they only have 6 money in deck, which means they cannot afford to buy a King's Court this turn. And the Smugglers can only gain Smugglers and Hermits, which are not particularly great cards to smuggle at this point. They're smuggling Hermits, I suppose. They could also buy 1 Groundskeeper in this turn, but I think they still have the same problem. Interesting. Oh, they had the Flag Bearer. That gets them to 7. potentially. Interesting. All right, so we'll lead on the Hostelry, play the Mask, pass a copper, trash a copper, right? And as much as I trash a copper, if I King's Court a flag bearer, I can buy another King's Court. I've got a Madman next turn, so I think I'm King's Courting this Hermit. Trash the flag bearer to get the flag back. I can probably gain 1 silver, 1 smugglers, and I'm looking to like King's Court the Hostelry next turn. Just seems like a lot of like so I'm going to gain a couple of silvers. I don't have that many actions to gain the smugglers, so I'll take like 1 silver, 1 hermit. Oh, so trashing happens first. So I'll gain an estate. Trash the estate, gain a hermit. Buys. Yeah, so I've got another Madman if I need it. I can King's Court the Hostelry now. And potentially King's Court the Smugglers if I really feel the need. And I did get a silver, and I do have some copper still. It's going to be slightly tough to hit 7. But I feel like I'm in okay shape. Like, they've got to spend a buy on a turn to get a King's Court. And if they do grab a Groundskeeper at some point, I can King's Court a Smuggler and get 3 Groundskeepers, and they can smuggle 3 Groundskeepers, and I can King's Court Smugglers and get the last 3. So I'd have a 6-4 split in the Groundskeepers. I don't know that that's actually going to come up, but that's at least within the realm of what's possible in this kind of kingdom. That's why I said I'm never going to buy the first Groundskeeper unless I'm like certain that I have like a win the turn or something, which doesn't seem likely. They do this lead in villages. It's not the end of the world. King's Court can be a village. I'm hoping that I can smuggle a village this turn potentially, or smuggle a lab, smuggle whatever, or perhaps they'll just buy their own King's Court here, and then I can't smuggle anything. My build here has been really awkward. Like, individual plays I made, I would have said, looking at it without paying much attention, to have been mistakes. They get to keep the flag for a while. That I had not thought about. Gains are so limited that now I lose the flag. I don't know, I had the flag for many turns in a row. So I had the flag for turns 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for 5 turns in a row. So I may just not contest the flag anymore. We'll also need to watch out for pilouts. Hermits, smugglers, estates, like piles can disappear very quickly. Especially with King's Courts. Like if I King's Court smugglers and gain 3 smugglers and play a Madman, draw them all, then whatever, like I can empty something very, very effectively. If I King's Court Hermit and gain 3 estates, trashing them all, like that gives me a ton of VP and gives me a lot of pile pressure if they don't buy a King's Court here. If they can smuggle, I can count their gains. They have 3 smugglers and a hermit. I believe 1 hermit. Oh, they have 2 hermits now if they don't take a Madman this turn. Okay, well, Madman to start. So I think I want a King's Court of Smugglers. That just feels like it gives me so much power here with all of the with adding 3 labs to my deck. Didn't occur to me that they would buy labs. So yeah, gaining 3 labs means I can just King's Court stuff next turn. Let's start with the mask, I guess. Ah, I still had a madman, which I'd forgotten about. Okay, so I have 2 hermits. They have... Oh, they trashed a hermit. Okay. So I'm going to King's Court of Smugglers here and gain 3 labs and then buy a King's Court. And claim that I can King's Court, Hermit, 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 and empty the piles of hermits and smugglers or something. And like trash all the estates, but getting to trash all the estates. Okay, so no reason not to play this hermit and gain another hermit. King's Court, Hermit is 9 games. And I've just got to find like King's Court and Lab or Madman to kick the turn off. And even if I don't kick the turn off, I feel pretty confident about not being that far behind. Probably this will be King's Court, Owl. Yeah, so with 9 games, I can like empty the estates and trash them all. I just need to count how many games that they have. So if I King's Court Smuggle, I can empty the labs. So King's Court Smugglers gains me 3 labs. King's Court 2 Hermits gains me 6 estates. So I can start by like King's Court, Hermit, gain, trash the estates, then play this Hermit to draw 3. Problem is if I don't draw the lab, if I don't draw the smugglers, then I can't King's Court the smugglers. But if I don't touch smugglers or labs this turn, they have no pile pressure, right? So they've got smugglers. They have 1 hermit, so they're gain limited to. I'll start by playing the Hostelry. See what I draw. Lab. Okay. Well, I can gain all the estates and trash them all. And I don't see how they can lower. They can't. They only have 2 gains, right? They can't gain things that I don't gain piles of. So the first one will be Hermit. Estate. Play trash. Estate. Play trash. Estate. So this one will be an owl. And then play trash. Gain estate. Trash. Gain estate. Okay, so now I'm gonna play this lab 3 times to draw deck. Or do I need to? I have a madman down there, right? I just buy a silver. So I just play this hermit 3 times, trash the rest of the estates, buy a silver, and start next turn with a madman on top of my deck. I have a madman in deck I didn't play, right? And trash estate, play trash, gain estate. Oh, I can even draw on. Play. Can I just win here? Can I gain a smugglers, draw the smugglers, and then gain 3 labs? Is that how life works? So what I have to not draw? I'd have to draw. I have a lab. It just seems not worth the risk to gain the smugglers here, because if the bottom cards are laboratory or whatever, then I can't get there. So I'm understanding it, they have no way to pile the game, right? I have to buy something. So my understanding is they only have one gain. They only have 2 gains next turn. They can gain as many silvers as they want, so they get double province. They can't double province. That's not how it works. They can province and then gain as many silvers as they want. And any pile that they touch, I can empty with my King's Courts, and then I can just Hermit, King's Court, Hermit, empty the Smugglers. This is a weird kingdom. Yeah, like taking the early King's Courts and then taking the early Flag Bearer. Them taking the, and maybe it was lucky that I was able to King's Court the lab, although I barely needed that to do what I did. I didn't actually find the labs until later in the turn. Because of the oddity of Smuggler only being able to gain cards that I gained, they can only gain now this turn silvers, and I emptied the whole estate pile, so they're not able to access that pile. If they had some way to, if I had gained a Smugglers potentially, then I could have lost. Yeah, if I'd drawn the laboratory, if I'd drawn the Madman off that laboratory, then I could have won last turn, but it seemed like a needless risk. There was some potential they could do some game and play stuff with the Smugglers pile and empty that out. I don't think they could win, but it wasn't impossible, so it didn't seem worth the risk. Begin to mask. Okay. So they'll be able to trash some more stuff. Assume they'll give me a copper back. And they're going to province, I assume? King's Court? Okay. Oh, Madman. All right, we'll play the lab. Well, I'm not quite there yet. What do they gain in their turn? Something. Yes, I have a King's Court, a lab, and a hostelry down there. So this will do it, though. King's Court, King's Court. Yeah, slightly more clicking than I needed to do. But, wow, that was a pretty crazy game. I'm pretty excited to have won that one. And we move on to game 4.